We're going to start tonight with our announcements. We have a few announcements that we need to make, which will include recognition of the academic accomplishments here with the Johnson County Schools. But we first want to start with a couple items related to our flooding event disaster that we had back in February. As I hope most of you know, the Small Business Administration has issued a declaration, and that essentially means that they are now in our county taking applications for those who were impacted with flooding, offering low interest loans to qualified applicants. So this is at least an opportunity for individuals who were affected adversely by the flooding to be able to get some assistance. With that, we have an SBA representative with us tonight. Tamim is here, and he's going to offer just a few comments related to SBA. So we'll let him do that for us as we get started.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tamim Chaudhary with the Small Business Administration, and as the judge mentioned, we are here because of the flooding that took place back in February. For those who don't know, Small Business Administration, it's not just for businesses. It's for homeowners, renters, businesses, and nonprofits. We started last Friday, and we complete our operations on this Friday. But that doesn't mean that the assistance stops right in there. Physical damage loans, the deadline is June 3rd, and economic injury loans, the deadline is January 3rd. What I mean by physical damage loans, any homeowner that has had any kind of damages, up to $200,000, you can receive a loan that's as low as 2% interest rate. The repayment years timeline can be up to 30 years. I've heard of people having vehicles damaged, and that's where we have personal property loans. That's for your both homeowners and renters. That's up to $40,000. Once again, the interest rate is 2.063%, can go up to 30 years. I ask you to please just consider this. We're set up at Johnson County Fiscal Court. Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. We close operations on Friday at 4 p.m. Any businesses that anyone may know of, or nonprofits. By nonprofits, I'm including churches as well. We offer loans for them as well, up to $2 million for real estate, equipment, inventory, what have you, for businesses. Interest rate can be as low as 4%. For nonprofits, it may be up to 2.75%. So these loans don't have any application fees or any closing costs. I ask all that you know, whom you may know, to just please consider it. Even after we're gone, you can go to 1-800-659-2955 to have an application mailed to you, or just come to disasterloan.sba.gov to just fill it in online. But I would recommend anyone even just wanting a little bit more information, just come in, talk to us. That's what we're here for this week. We can help you fill in the loan applications. I wish everyone a successful recovery. I will be here even after the meeting if anybody wants to come talk to me. I thank you all for your time.
Thank you so much, and that's the best way to get the information out is for us to share with our friends and neighbors. So thank you for the information. The second item related to the disaster follow-up is we have made application to the Natural Resource Conservation Service. They provide funding for assistance with obstruction of waterways and creeks and things like that associated with the disaster and with the flooding. And so the fiscal court Johnson County has made application to them for assistance in some of those areas as well. And we have at least 4, maybe 5 areas that could qualify for that. So just an update there, the NRCS is also working with us to provide assistance there. Solid waste is a very much of a discussed subject in the county, and rightfully so. As a fiscal court, we've all had discussions on it at multiple times, and we want to put a great deal of emphasis on trying to address our solid waste issues and solid waste efforts. One thing to be aware of is April is actually Pride Cleanup Month. As you all know, Pride is a federal program that promotes cleaning up of communities. So April is Pride Cleanup Month. So if there's a community or a group that wants to coordinate a cleanup effort in a particular part of the county, please contact Monica Spriggs, who's our solid waste coordinator. Please contact her, and she will help you with getting that coordinated, because she can also provide you with supplies and different things associated with that. The cleanups, we had one cleanup back on March 28th and 29th. We had there was a Paintsville Lake cleanup on April 6th last Saturday, and we have 4 cleanups scheduled for the rest of this month. Folks in the Thelma area, the Hammond area, Carl Perkins Center is also coordinating an effort in the Thelma area, and then there'll be a cleanup in the Van Leer area. So you can see there's a lot of activity going on in various communities. So if you have interest in coordinating a cleanup effort in your community, please see Monica, and she can assist with paperwork and supplies and things like that to help you with that. So we're going to put a great deal of emphasis on solid waste efforts as we go forward. A lot of questions have been asked related to, are we going to have what folks refer to as a county-wide cleanup, where that you can bring bulk items to the transfer station at Apple Valley, Tater Hill, and dispose of those. We are working on a program for that, and we hope to be able to announce that program sometime toward the end of this month or the 1st of May. So we'll be sure to get that information out, but it certainly is our intention to be able to put together a program to allow for a county-wide cleanup effort. We know that's been asked a lot, so please share that information with whomever you may talk to. Let them know that we are working on that as well. With respect to some grants, we need to update on a couple of grants that the fiscal court has approved in recent months. Last month, the fiscal court approved a resolution for a grant application that would be applied for through Kentucky Power. It's called a KPEG grant, and the fiscal court passed a resolution supporting a sewer line extension project for economic development purposes. After we met, the city of Paintsville also passed a resolution. City Utilities has now passed a resolution in support, and so has the Paintsville-Johnson County Economic Development Authority. So based upon those, the support of those different agencies, the Economic Development Authority has made application now, and we are requesting $150,000 from the KPEG grant funding source in Kentucky Power to help with engineering costs related to that sewer line extension project. So just an update for you there. That application requesting those funds has been submitted. Last month also, the fiscal court approved the ARC FlexKey grant application to apply. That was for up to $10,000, and that's for us to be able to create a strategic plan for Paintsville-Johnson County for the future. And that grant is for up to $10,000 for us to be able to utilize those funds to hire a consulting firm to help us put together a strategic community plan. We've all talked, and obviously you can't know where you're going unless you have a plan of where you're going. And so this will help us on a community-wide level to help us to know where we're going as a community, where we want to go, help us identify those areas. And it's a very supportive project when it comes to economic development, because folks who have interest in developing and investing in our community will want to know what's your community's plan and where are they going. And so this if we can get this accomplished, the strategic community plan, it will certainly help with that tremendously. All right, we're now going to go to the reason that I like to think all of y'all are here because you are just thrilled over a fiscal court meeting, but I suspect you're here because of your accomplishments, and the accomplishments are significant. The Governor's Cup obviously is a place where that the school systems of Johnson County have shined since its inception and continue to shine. State championship after state championship, and to be commended for doing so. And the Johnson County Fiscal Court recognizes the value of the school systems in this county, recognizes the accomplishment, recognizes the students and the individual accomplishments that you all have made, because you are the future, and we all recognize that, and we want to do whatever we can in our capacities to help ensure an opportunity for you to be able to continue to use your talents and your abilities to help this community in the future. That's our goal. We want to provide you with those opportunities. We want everybody to be able to hopefully live here, raise your family here, support your community, and make this community as the best it possibly can be. And so obviously you're well on your way, because you're solving problems for this community, and we're probably going to be coming to you all to help us solve some problems because you're so good at it. And so with that, though, we want to recognize the folks, and we'll try to do it as quickly and as efficiently as we can. But we have several teams, obviously, that have won awards on the state level just a few weeks ago, and we want to recognize those. So what I'll do is I will, if it's a team, then if you can just come up when your team is called. We have a certificate. for you. Come up, and then while you're on your way up, I will read the individual names that were provided to me. Just to cover myself, I was provided this information, so if there's anything that's left off of it, I won't mention any names who provided it to me. But if anything is left, anyone's left off this list, I assure you that it was not intentional, and please let us know because we want to make sure you get recognized. So we'll do as I call the teams off, and if you'll come up, we'll ask the fiscal court to come up. All the members stand up here as well, and I guess maybe we get Aaron to take some pictures for us all to have going forward. So we'll get started on that. We're going to start with the third place. W.R. Castle was third place CMPS in the junior division. If they would come up. That is Chloe Scarberry, James Morris, Kylie Castle, Laura Lee Arms, Adara Campbell, Sophia Stambo, Alyssa Johnson, Haley Anderson, and Elijah Skaggs. If y'all just stand right here in front of the podium, then we'll get a picture real quick. Great, thank you all. All right, the next one is Highland Elementary. Highland Elementary, we'll do the fourth place FPS team first. The Highland Elementary fourth place FPS team first. That is Gabe Conley, John Maynard, Sophia Spradlin, and Kirsten Seagraves. And you know, I apologize, I shortchanged W.R. Castle. The coach there is Heather Campbell, obviously a key part of that. The coach for this group is Andy Hall and Amy Conley. All right, so the next one is Highland Elementary State Champions, CMPS Junior Division. Bethany Chapman, Dave Conley, Trent Cox, Maddie Goebel, Clara Bolden, Madeline Burchett, Jaden Estep, and Maya Estep. Coaches, Andy Hall and Amy Conley. Great. Sorry, we cheated Joey there. You get it? All right.
Well, Blake.
All right. Next is second place CMPS Junior Division from Central Elementary. That is Alexis Howard, Riley Lewis, Allie Sexton, Madison Spradlin, Courtney Meade, Cameron Duncan, Kendra Dixon, and Serenity Stambo. Coaches Miranda Duncan and Charlene Owens. Great. Thank you all very much. All right, on to the middle school. And this one, a lot of moving parts here. So, first of all, Johnson County Middle School was a third place overall and fifth place quick recall. And those team members, Mae Tipton, Ben Moore, Jacob. That's right. I'll let you repeat that when you get up here. Isaiah Rowland, Taylor Lyons, Destiny Bird, Chase Cantrell, Anakin Sloan, Bryce Ferguson, Chris.
Shrivastava.
Yep. Shrivastava, right? Was that close? Erickson Mills, Joel May, Constance Martin, Brian Campbell, David Sammons, Simon Fack, Paula Lamb, Kaylee Lyons, Brandon Grass, and Trent Cox. Third place overall, fifth place quick recall. You get it? Too wide? Great. coaches on that team is Pam Burton and Josh Collins. Individual winners for the Governor's Cup: Benjamin Moore, 5th in Social Studies. Maeve Tipton, 2nd in Arts and Humanities. And Maeve Tipton, 4th in Language Arts. All right, staying with Johnson County Middle School. We'll go with 2nd place in FPS, Johnson County Middle School. And that is Chloe Dyer, Olivia Hackworth, Lakin Salyers, Dakota Shepard. Nope, wrong group. That's all right. Hey, we love when people take personal responsibilities. All right. All right. So 2nd place FPS is who? This group?
She's not here.
All right. Hold on down here. That's good right there. Now you can start and tell everybody your names and just pass it on down.
Emily, Constance Martin, Hannah Piedad,
Cole Butcher.
Zoe Curtis.
Mike, you.
Mike Jeremy.
2nd place FPS for Johnson County Middle School. Oh, here's yours. Also, now we'll do Johnson County Middle School State Champions CMPS. Chloe Dyer, Olivia Hackworth, Lakin Salyers, Dakota Shepard, Constance Martin, Hannah Piedad, Kaylee Gibbs, Emily Farler, and Cole Butcher. Did I get that right? All right. There you go. And we also have 2 additional individual winners from Johnson County Middle School, and that is Emily Farler was 2nd in scenario writing, correct? There we go. And then we also have an individual winner, Meredith McNally, 3rd in scenario writing. There you go. Right. Johnson Central High School.
Just a minute, Judge, sorry.
No problem.
We
have 2 other girls that were tops in language arts.
Okay.
7th place, Destiny Bird, come on up front. And Taylor Lyons, 9th in language arts.
Thank you all. Hey, that is a good thing. You win so much that sometimes it just, it happens. So. No problem at all. Mr. Cochran just said we have actually one more, and that's
Trent Cox.
Trent Cox.
At Junior Division, FBS, alternate second place.
Right.
So you say so. You tell them.
Junior Division FBS alternate second place, Trent Cox. Come on.
We lost Mikey. There we go. Great.
I'll read that.
Oh, we have two more? Okay. Do we have a couple more that we overlooked?
Well, you have 2 more middle school alternates. They should stand up. Cole Goodger was 3rd place on alternate.
Okay.
Yes, and Zoe who just left the 2nd place alternate. Yes.
My apologies. Yeah. Hurry back. Okay, so now we'll move on to Johnson Central High School. I think we're good there. Johnson Central High School, 1st place overall. We'll start with the top. Fraser Pack, Cornelius Arms, Sarah Coleman, Meredith McNally. Have I got the right group? All right. Hillel Sagan, Kyle Hager, Amelia Kretzer, Zoe Castle, Bryce Fletcher, Gabe Hess, Colin Clevenger, Peyton Sargent, Austin Cantrell, Hannah Skaggs, and Blaine Boone. Who's in the middle? 1st place overall. Big group. There we go.
Still zooming. Let me get all everybody in here.
Ronnie, when you get done, I'll need you to step back because there's no way to get the picture.
I don't know what I can do there.
No, you leave the camera there. I can still get them in. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Get a little closer here. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Good? Congratulations. Thank you. Now, is this the same group as 5th place quick recall? Same group?
Your quick recall, stay up there.
Quick recall can stay up 5th place quick recall. I don't have a separate list of names here.
And you can't see it, Captain. There you go.
Oh, we got one more. Hang on. There we go.
Okay, look up.
Thank you all. Thanks so much. All right, we have some individual winners as well. JT Dials, 1st in science. Thank you. Congratulations. Crystal and Stambo, 1st in Arts and Humanities. third in Arts and Humanities. Carrie Meek, 8th in Arts and Humanities. Get it? Jolene Fairchild, 6th in Language Arts. Peyton Duncan, 1st in Scenario Writing. And last individual winner we have is Megan Hudnall, 1st in CMPS Individual Senior Division. And then we have, as a group, 3rd place for Johnson Central High School, FPS, 3rd place. That is Savannah Holbrook, Nada Softon, Sarah Thompson, and Blake Cochran.
I like the answer. Let's go.
Thank you. You all have to tell me, is there one for, did I overlook one individual, Riley Castle?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Riley Castle was 3rd place, alternate individual. Now, how are we now, team? Okay, we pretty much covered? All right. Big round of applause. Unbelievable. Thank you all so much for your efforts. Thank you so much. Also with the recognitions as well, and again, you know, we promote and we talk about ourselves as a community, and even though we obviously have 2 school systems in this community that do very well, Paintsville Independent also placed in the state competition. If my records are correct, 1st place, Paintsville Elementary in future problem solving, and then 2nd place, individual Brayley Howard at Paintsville Elementary, also placed. And I'm afraid I forgot one. There was
And their high school.
The high school.
CMPS was second.
Yeah, and I apologize. I thought I had that. I think Mr. Gibson texted that to me and it was on my phone, so I apologize. So the high school placed in what place?
Second.
Second. Paintsville High School placed 2nd CMPS. So congratulations. This community has a bright future. There's a lot of bright individuals and it has a bright future. Thank you for applying yourself and representing us well, because You are well known, obviously, throughout the state. I was actually at a meeting a few months ago, an individual who's involved in economic development. I think Mikey was actually, we were together at that meeting, and he said, when he lives in another county in central Kentucky, he said, when I go to these competitions, Governor's Cup, he said, my kids have competed there, and he said, when those kids from Johnson County and Paintsville come, he said, they walk in there with a swagger like they're going to absolutely take over this place. He said, you know what? They do. So obviously your reputation is very well known across the state. I'm not telling you that you already know, but from this fiscal court, we say to you, thank you so much for your efforts, and thank you for being a contributing part of this community. Thank you. And since we are recognizing academics, if you don't want to hang around for the real fun part of this meeting, we'll give you a pass if you want to go ahead and leave. We understand you may have academic obligations. That's all right. That was worth every minute of it. All right, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda. That is the approval of the minutes from our regular meeting on March the 11th, 2019. You have copies of those in your packet. We will entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Salyer.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gerald. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Next item is approval to pay the monthly bills. You have the claims list in your packet, as well as some additional claims that were paid after the report was run, but you have copies of all those. If you have questions, feel free to ask, obviously, and Ms. Picklesheimer, our treasurer, is here. So between the two of us, hopefully we can answer those. If not, if there's no questions, then we'll entertain a motion to approve the monthly bills.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gerald, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Adams. Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is transfers for the fiscal court. We just have one. There's not a transfer sheet in your packet, but the amount we need to transfer this month is $50,000, and that's to the jail fund. That is up a little bit. We normally transfer 40, but we had some additional costs that came in. There is a service that, medical service that is paid to provide those services on site at the jail, and that bill comes quarterly, or no, monthly?
It's monthly. These are actually bills that's incurred outside of the facility, so we have to pick those up.
So these are medical bills that occurred outside of what services are provided at the facility, and so the amount needed to transfer this month is a little more than normal, but we would request permission approval to transfer $50,000 from the general fund to the jail fund.
Make that motion. Motion
by Commissioner Adams. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gerald. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? The next item is item 7. This is to approve officer changes to the Justice Center Corporation. There's a Justice Center Corporation that was created for the new Judicial Center. And it obviously has officers because it is a corporation with filings with the Secretary of State. But 2 of the officers, we need to make changes to those existing officers. And what we're asking for is asking for you to approve replacing previous Judge Daniel with myself. He served as president of that corporation, so I would ask for your approval to approve me to serve as president of that corporation. And then the vice president on record is Mike Schmidt, and as we know, Mike is chairman of the PSC in Frankfurt now, and so I would ask for your approval for Jonathan Shaw to serve as vice president of the Judicial Corporation. It doesn't take any action necessarily, but it has to exist for bonding and various things related to the Judicial Center itself. So I would ask for those approval of myself as president and Jonathan Shaw as vice president.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Adams. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sire. Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Next item is approval to advertise for an RFP. Just by way of reminder, last month, at a previous meeting, I can't tell you for sure last month, but at a previous meeting, the fiscal court approved for us to make application for an energy audit on all of our county buildings, an energy assessment on all of our county buildings, which the fiscal court approved that. We also approved to make application for a grant associated with this energy assessment that we were going to get. We haven't heard anything on the grant. That process is still ongoing. We have made application for that grant. But the next step in the energy assessment process, they have brought us their initial assessment that says, yes, they believe there's room for improvement and savings in converting some of our existing energy services, lighting, HVAC, windows, things like that, primarily in our downtown courthouse and also at the Judicial Center. And so we'll be forwarding the information to the Judicial Center for their board for consideration of any action they might want to take related to assessment. We included the jail in the initial assessment. And so the next step is for us to advertise an RFP, which is a request for proposals, where that an energy savings company, as we put on the agenda there, and ESCO, as it's referred to, what we essentially do is we put out for a request for proposals for an energy saving company to give us a proposal of what the cost would be for them to provide the services and the changes that have been recommended in the initial assessment. Now, there's no cost associated with advertising for an RFP, and the information, once we get that back and we choose a organization, a company to work with, they will then provide us a detailed report, I mean light bulb by light bulb report that does not cost us anything still. And then we as a fiscal court can choose which of those that we think could be advantageous to us financially to pursue. So we may look at it and say, you know, it makes sense for us to change the lighting out in the downtown courthouse because that'll save us X number of dollars. It'll cost this much, but it'll save us this much over time. We obviously recoup our investment. So we can look at those case by case individually, but what we will have is we would have a report that would be so detailed that we can use that going forward for making decisions on any future improvements we want to make in our energy efficiency. So again, no cost to advertise for the RFP, and even when we choose an energy savings company, whatever project we may choose to save energy costs for the county, it's a performance-based contract, which means that essentially if they tell us this is how much if you invest this much, this is how much you're going to save. If you don't save that much, they have to pick up the difference. It's a performance contract. So when we get to that point, we obviously will be able to clarify that a little more. But for tonight, what I would like is for approval to advertise for the request for proposals for this energy saving company to give us a quote of what they would, of their qualifications and a quote for their services. Again, no cost to us at this point.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Adams, second by Commissioner Gerald. Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you all. There's going to be some really good information, I think, that comes out of that. We did, by the way, we did the downtown courthouse, we did the county garage, we did the Judicial Center, and the jail, regional detention jail. we did all of those facilities. The next item on the agenda is a resolution related to an application, an LEPP application. This is for the Sheriff's Office for body armor. This is an application that we will make for those items. There is no match. The county does not pay any match for this if we are awarded for this request, but it would provide body armor and weapons for the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. We're asking for, I guess, approval of the resolution, which would allow us to make application for these items. Again, no cost to the county if we are awarded. It's a 100% fully funded grant.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gerald. Second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And you have a quote actually in your packet for that. It's $7,000, $7,093 is the quote that the sheriff has obtained for those items, correct? Next item is the Conservation District. It's my understanding that on an annual basis they present their budget, which you have a copy of it, and their plan of work. And that is in your packet. Is anybody presenting that this evening from the Conservation? We have a copy of it. Is there any comments that you want to make related to it, or? Okay. So you have a copy of their budget in there. It's my understanding that we essentially just approve their budget. They are their own taxing district, but nevertheless, their budget does come before this body for our review and approval, is my understanding. So you have that in front of you. If you have any questions, a couple folks here from the Conservation District, and if not, then we would entertain a motion to approve the budget and plan of work as it has been presented. Motion by Commissioner Adams, second. Second by Commissioner Sire. Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Next is Emergency Management Director Gary McClure with his monthly activity report, which you have a copy in your packet. Anything, Gary, that you want to highlight for us?
Only thing I wanted to mention, I actually planned on about a 30-minute talk on family safety with the big crowd we had, but I'll take a bow at that, and not put you through that. But anyway, such a good crowd, I wanted to talk about family safety.
That would be a good time.
Let me remind everybody that the month of March was severe weather week in the state of Kentucky. That's what happened to us back on March the 2nd, 2012. Weather safety. And of course, we all know what happened. We got, hit hard with a F3 tornado. It was on the ground for 48 miles. We had 2 fatalities, 2 young lives that was taken here in Johnson County. So with that being said, the only thing I can say, have your family plan and encourage your friends and your other family members to try to make a plan too, especially during severe storms and tornadoes. Thank you.
Thanks, we appreciate it, Gary. Gary's really worked hard with all the efforts that have gone on since our flooding in February as well, and helping coordinate with all the folks in the county road department. And so it's been a good team effort in that respect, so we appreciate that very much. And also, I guess I'll go ahead and lay out that next month, I think it's our intention to maybe roll out some new 911 ideas and some improvements to our 911 system, some of our identifications and signage and things like that, because we need to bring more awareness to how we identify our properties so that emergency management can do their job effectively. So we'll be kind of more details of that in the next meeting, I think in May. Do we have a motion to approve the monthly activity report? Motion by Commissioner Sire, second by Commissioner Gerald. All in favor? Any opposed? The last item on the agenda is an appointment to the Senior Citizens Board. We do have a vacancy there that is an appointee by the county, but I would request we table that tonight. I do not have a recommendation to make to you tonight, so we'll table that until the next meeting. So, That being said, it's a special call meeting, so we stay to the agenda, and so that being the last item on the agenda, we entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Adams, second. Second by Commissioner Gerald. We stand adjourned. Thank you all so much.